guys, welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful. And this is your quick recap for August 1st, 2022 for the young and the restless. So before we talk about what has happened on this episode, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Also, make sure your notification bells are turned on so you'll get updated every time we post. And don't forget to like and share. So without further ado, let's talk about and explain this mess. So we did get the first little clip of this whole thing with Tessa after her surgery, and with Faith and of course Sharon and Mariah, and they were so happy to have her back. Okay, we got past that. Then there's this conversation between Kyle and Mariah regarding the fact of him telling her that Ashlyn Locke has passed on. At the same time, he also instructs her that he gave Diane up and said that Diane was Harrison's grandmother. And looked like Mariah was a little taken back by that. I don't know why is that such a problem, because you had to come in town and people had to figure out what the deal was with you. Now, I know Diane has a history, but let's not be so hypocritical, Mariah. And speaking of coming back to town, Elena comes in a little bit earlier, not expected, but was pleasantly surprised by the fact that Nate was more than happy to see her. Well, after the whole shenanigans between the two of them, there was this whole misunderstanding that it seems that Devon is part of the problem because he didn't communicate well. Nate did exactly what he wanted him, what Devon wanted him to do, but then when it all blows up, then he wants to blame Nate about it. I don't know what's going on with Devon. I guess he's not feeling the fact that Nate is kind of being a little bit more ambitious with his moves. And so whatever this mix-up that happens, which again seems like Devon's fault, he's trying to make it where it's Nate's fault, where he now needs a babysitter or a mentor. And I'm like, why? I don't understand why he would need that. It was a misunderstanding on your part. And so it turns into this whole back and forth. And I don't blame Nate for getting kind of frustrated. And then the fact that we remember what happened with the first thing that they had to clean up. And now here Devon is saying we got to clean up another one of your messes because we got the same artists at two different places. Well, you should have communicated that to him, because according to Nate, he did exactly what you wanted him to do, but you did not communicate with him. Now, in the midst of all of this melee, of course, Amanda come in talking about, is everything all right? No, everything is not all right, because somebody need to reel Devon in. He's getting a little bit too up in the nose about different things, and Nate is feeling some kind of way. Eventually these two gonna implode. And so now he wants to check in on Imani, and Imani is like, how about we need to talk? The question is that are these two going to end up together? And it seems like that's the direction that they're going into. And she's looking to hopefully have a conversation. The girl is not stopping her pursuit at all of Nate. She wants some of Nate real bad, and Nate is just seem like he's falling for it. I wonder how that's going to sit well with Miss Elena, because she's planning a lot of little things that's supposed to be happening later tonight. That's not going to go over well. And last but not least, let's talk about Phyllis Summers. Now, Phyllis is having a conversation in the park with her daughter. Diane shows up, basically giving compliments to Summer about everything that had happened, and how they had to break the news to Harrison about Ashlyn Locke's death. And guess who gets mad? None other than Phyllis. What are you doing here? Why are you here? She only was there because of the fact, too, of taking Harrison to the park. And Phyllis is screaming so loud. Jack showed up because originally she invited, meaning Diane, Jack to come over and meet them at the park. Well, he showed up. And when he showed up in the middle of this whole loud argument. And he was like, everybody can hear you. I can hear you. Harrison probably could hear you too. And I'm just trying to keep him together on one of the worst days of maybe his little life. And Phyllis is like, how are you always taking up for her? You always looking out for her. You giving her the benefit of the doubt. And you're not giving me the benefit of the doubt. And it's like, Phyllis, you're bringing this problem on your own. If you control your emotions, maybe this just wouldn't happen. But it's always somebody else's fault. And then she turns around and says, why can't you take control of Diane, because she's the one that's getting me upset. She's the one that's doing this. It's up to you to control your reactions, Miss Phyllis. That's in your capabilities. You need to control yourself. And like Jack said, so you want me to control her so you can control yourself. You need to do that on your own. Phyllis is off the charts. And then she's saying, you love me. How could you love me? And then you treat me this way. And Jack was like, hold on. You're not going to weaponize my love for you. Yes, I love you, but you acting crazy right now. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? And the fact of the matter is that Jack is still trying to balance this whole thing between his grandson, Harrison, between Kyle, his son, and everybody involved. And Phyllis is only thinking about herself. She's thinking about herself. And it's just so unfortunate because she probably could fix the situation if she comes from a place of maturity. And she's so pissed off at Diane that it's going to ruin everything. Now, we can't forget the fact that her, Ashley, and Nikki are plotting her demise, which is also probably going to blow up in her face. All I can say is, Phyllis, get a grip. So that's your quick recap for The Young and the Restless for August 1st, 2022. Stay tuned for The Bold and the Beautiful quick recap. And until the next video, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. And please don't forget to like and share. Bye.